Well, it's Thursday, day 2 of our trip from Greece to Malta. And the sun has finally come out. It's been a tough 24 hours. Hello and welcome, I'm Tim and this is SV Paquita. And we have about 62 miles to go to get to Malta. So we've done about 300 miles already. And the weather I was trying to beat, that predict wind and windy, we're saying we're coming on Friday morning or Friday afternoon, depending on who you believe. And that still may come for all I know. But it's funny, in predict wind they have sail routing and for weather, and it gives you can see a graphical representation of that. But you can also go to the summary, and it tells you, each model tells you how many days it thinks it will take you, what your average speed will be, what your highest wind will be, what your average wind will be, your high wind, your gust wind, your low wind. Same thing with the sea states and vertical acceleration and all this sort of stuff. Wonderful information. God, it would be so useful if it was real. But it is just a forecast, and I guess they're just running their stuff through their models. Anyway, on this particular trip, it said that we were probably going to get there about the same time that we are in fact going to get there, which is going to be I don't know, 3 or 4 in the morning on Friday, tomorrow. But it said that like the highest wind we'd see would be like 18 knots with a gust of 20, and another one said a gust of 21. And they said that the sea state would be somewhere around everything would be under 1 meter or less, so 3 feet or less. Well, I've told you this before, I don't really like filming when I'm holding on for dear life. Look at these are pretty good sized swells right here. They're a little bit more than a meter, I'd say. Anyway, it started blowing and the wind started going, and it was just a line of squalls starting probably around sometime last night, and it went, luckily, it ended right about when Chrysalida was taking her watch at midnight. So she had a relatively, I mean, it was still bumpy and the wind was blowing, but I mean, there's wind on it. So right now what's happening is I have just a little bit of sail up there, but it's not doing anything because there is no wind right now at all. And all these confused seas are rolling around, just rolling us like we're, a cork bobbing around here. So everything's tossed up downstairs. It's really hard to get any sleep. But anyway, Chrysalida got some good sleep. And this morning, there was a couple more lines of thunderstorms. I got through them, and then it looked like it was going to be nice. I was like, sweet. That was only a rest for about 45 minutes, and then they all lined up again. And so that was from about, I took over, I think, around 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning or something like that. And we had, other than that 40-minute spot where okay, just listening on the radio. Yeah, it was nasty, and it was just one. The radar was just red with all these squalls coming right at us, one after another. And I'm sure there's somebody out there that says, "Oh, well, you should steer around the squalls." Well, we're not in a plane that can do that. We're doing and when these squalls would hit us, it's doing 40 knots. 30, 40 knots, and everything's white out. And when the engine hooked up, just motoring into it, I'm not, I'm making like 0 knots. We're one knot if I'm lucky. So the idea of running around something that's 4 or 5 miles across, yeah, that's something that is a luxury that we just can't afford. And so unfortunately, we just kind of have to go through them. So that's what we did. And Good God. Oh, moly. Hanging on for dear life here. Yeah, so another problem that I have with squalls is that if you know that you're going to be in a big rainstorm or something like that, you put on your foulies. Well, I did have my coat on, but I didn't put my pants on. You know, I didn't put my foul weather pants on, the bibs. And so I'm in my third change of clothes right now. Everything else is soaking wet. And so we've got stuff, see around here, drying in the cockpit. All my hoodies and everything. But a nice sunny day, always, you can take a lot more weather when the sun's out. But it won't be much longer. I figure we'll get in around 3 o'clock in the morning and maybe 4. And as soon as we get any wind, if we get any at all, like right now, you see how the sail is luffing, and it's only, you know, it's super reefed in. So if I put the whole thing out, it'd go ba-bang, ba-bang on either side and blow itself right out. So I can't do that. I gotta wait until there's some wind, enough wind to hold it there, and that will stiffen the boat up, stiffen the ride up a little bit more. But the idea is that we get in. I just went and laid down for a few hours while Cristalita was enjoying the sun. And when she took over, it was still raining a little bit. I came out, look at this, she got it all nice and sunny. And so that's good, because I figure I'm not going to hand her the watch at midnight. I'll probably take this thing, because when we do that, we'll be getting close to shore. There'll probably be more ship traffic. I think Valletta is a big port over there anyway, so we'll have to go in there. We'll find a spot. We'll drop the hook, even if it's not the most ideal place to drop a hook. But we'll do that, and it should be safe and sound. And maybe we'll get some sleep until 8 or 10 in the morning, and then we'll get in touch with the marina. The last thing that I got before I lost my Starlink was a thing saying that the marina had accepted my reservation, so that I'm all set to get in there. So that'll be good. Anyway, just wanted to show you a little bit of what's going on. I during the nasty weather, I reeled up the line because I didn't want to catch anything when we're out there. Like I say, you have no idea. I so would love to film this stuff when we go through a squall like that. But there's some, I guess everyone has their own set of storm tactics. For me, when we're doing that, the first thing I try to do is, before we get into the squall, I see it coming up on the radar, and I reduce sail. So I don't take them, if it's really bad, or if it's just me or whatever, I'll take them all the way in. But most of the time, I'll take them in, I'll reef to almost half of what is supposed to be out there. And then when it comes, when you hit the problem is that the wind doesn't blow in the same direction. It's almost like a circular thing. So you can have the sails set up on the sails over here on a port tack with the wind coming over the port side, and then you enter the thing, and then you've got to reel in the head sail because it won't go around the stay sail, and then put it out on the starboard tack on the port side, and do all that over again. You're not going to do that when it's blowing 30 knots or more. And so I try to reduce everything. And what I started doing, you can see I haven't put it away yet, but I was using the Yankee, because that we can go on either side. So I had the Yankee out, the little stay sail, and the mainsail super reefed in. You can see there's hardly anything of it there. And when that happens, I usually take it off the autopilot, and then my focus is really on the wind angle. I have the gauge will show me that. And as soon as I start getting around 31 or whatever, I start easing the rudder to make sure that I can still hold some wind angle, even if it means we go off course. And that stiffens the boat up, and it also keeps us getting way. Like I say, when it's blowing 30 or 40, the engine's not doing hardly, the engine's working really hard, but you're not making any way at all. But you don't need much sail out in 40 knots of wind to really take off. So I do that, and then as you get to the other side, then I start coming back over, and I usually will kind of almost do an S turn, like this, so that I blow down on one side of my rum line, and then I go through my rum line, go up to the other side, and then come back, and that usually works pretty well. But and of course, I mean, you're sitting there, and all you can do is just take it. So you're just taking the water, just pouring in everywhere. Oh, you wouldn't believe how hard it ran. Anyway, I'm really happy to see the sun, and I'll be really happy when we get in to Malta. I will send all these up to you once I get out there. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Just to let you know, it's not always beautiful out here. Some of it is really the suck, and the last 36 hours has been the suck out here. But right now it's not so bad. I mean, it's rolly, and I can't do anything about the roll because there's no wind, but other than that, it's fine. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Like I say, I'll probably upload all these one after the other, so there'll be a big thing, so we'll get right back in sync again so I can do our daily updates from Malta. But thank you so much for coming along with us. Like I say, I kind of feel like all you guys are kind of here with me, and that's kind of cool. I really appreciate that. I love all your comments, and they really help out the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. You know what to do. And thank you so much for the patrons. You guys take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the water.